A very good afternoon. It's 3:30 by the watch. I'm Jashin Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of I'm Decor Design. We're in the business of designing and manufacturing home and office decor and interior solutions and stuff. And I also come from a background of branding, marketing, communication, global PR, and stuff like that. And I'm an award winner, about four awards, national and international, and a recipient of various certificates at various forums and stuff in India for international and national participation at summits and thought shares and change maker forums and startup forums, media impact and positive impact, business trade and stuff like that. So the post is not about me. The post is actually about certain realizations that I had. I thought I was the only one doing this till I kind of laid my eyes on this book which is before me. I mean, I just happened to spontaneously pick up a book and read, and sometimes I do this exercise where I pick up a book and I open up a page, and at times I feel whatever I'm reading is so relevant to me in the present moment. Okay, so that's the present Haigi, and that's the present Ikigai, the purpose, the meaning, and everything. What are we here for? Okay, so we are here to kind of spread joy, happiness, positivity, make it easy for everybody, do our stuff, and let everybody also do their stuff in peace and in a great fashion without being hindrances in the lives, personal and professional, of other people and stuff. Why do I say that? I say that because your karma or your action is like a boomerang, so whatever you send out, it comes back to you. So this is a read, actually inspired, and the caption goes as Pygmalion effect. So Pygmalion effect is actually about cleanliness in your settings and stuff. And I said at the onset, I thought I was the only one, but there have been years, specifically after Corona, where I've actually, kind of walked into certain houses and personal spaces, and I've said, you know what, treat your home like an office and put the systems and processes in place like you would in your office around hiring, firing, discipline, about cleanliness, and about everything. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's not a good idea to be flexible, but I'm just saying that having tidiness and efficiency is a good idea. So why am I saying this? Okay, so I remember this story where I had this lady, she walked up to me and she exclaimed, my God, my office is in such a mess and my room is in such a mess. And my cupboard, when I open up, my clothes are following out, my shoes are in a mess and stuff. So let's be in the real world. There are days when it's like this for a lot of people. You may have the best of your closets and stuff like that, but sometimes, like, a lot of stuff is happening, and you may not have help at home. You may not even be able to kind of look after stuff at home and stuff because you're so taken in by everything around you and stuff, creatively, intellectually, artistically. Maybe you're traveling and stuff, and sometimes you may even have help, but you want to be around to supervise how that work is happening and stuff. So this lady said, hey, my desk is such a mess, my office is such a mess and stuff, and what do I do? And she kind of walked in and she said, I got to go back home and I got to clean and everything. And I said, okay, why don't you do this over the weekend or something, because you're going to go back home, you're going to be reaching home like me at about 10:30, 11. Are you going to do this? And I said this from experience because there have been so many nights when I've actually cleaned up my own stuff and all that. It's not like I'm erratic or something, it's just that you feel comfortable at a certain point of time and stuff, and silence helps you and stuff. So this is where cleaning also as a act depends on personalities and spaces and stuff. It's not important to be following the same discipline at all times, because sometimes you can't do it, like I said. Okay, and that doesn't make you a failure. That doesn't make you kind of question your sensibilities on your cleanliness. You got nothing to prove to anybody. I mean, after all, it's your room, it's your cupboard and stuff like that. But always a good idea to kind of maintain the cleanliness and stuff, because it has so many positives on it. I've been sharing quite actively that your stress management can be actually brought down if your cleanliness levels are really high. And once the cleanliness level is high, people around you also start feeling better and comfortable. Your focus shifts from the mundane activity or the stuff that you keep doing and put so much of importance in it to bigger stuff. You know, you can be in your office earlier, you can be more in your gym, you can meet more of your friends, you can actually explore your city, you can travel more, you can design more, you can read more, you can watch more movies, you can be in more of your activities, like maybe you have music or drumming or something like that, or maybe you have photography as a hobby, or you have let's say gardening as a hobby or whatever. So if you're all the time in the house, it's quite a like a not so great spot to be in and stuff. So this story, I'm sure, is not unusual. A lot of women, even men, parents, senior citizens, and children can associate with it. So there is a strict discipline in the house. Most of us had it. Many families still have it and stuff. And children and adults don't like it. And if you had a like a schedule, let's say over the years you've worked 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, 12 years, and you're used to being in a certain manner. I mean, you don't expect to change overnight, because good habits are good to keep. If you have a habit of having your house cleaned up early by 9:30, isn't that a better idea than cleaning up at 12, and then your day starts and then you don't reach anywhere on time, you don't finish your work on time, you're like all over the space and stuff like that. So good habits are good to keep. So coming back to the set of lines from my read. So several studies on evaluations of work have showed this, that the cleaner and tidier the person's spaces, the more likely they are going to be warm, calm, intelligent, outgoing, more ambitious, dynamic, and other things. And these people may also be confident, friendly, industrious, and kind and stuff. And the list can go on and on. And they're actually the real winners. So I'm not talking about we are in a competition, I will win and I will show you and everything. We're not in a sport, we are in an office, or we are at home. So it's not about winning and everything, it's actually about achieving and finishing off whatever goals or whatever targets you have in mind, whatever task you have in mind. At the end of the day, when you sit for an assessment and stuff, you don't want to be questioning yourself, why did I even do anything, when it's not even, finishing off and stuff. And I'm from the line of design and architecture. I've also worked in branding, advertising. There are so many days and so many nights, editorial works don't finish off. You think you've achieved a lot, but till the time the design is not closed, the payments are not made and stuff, it's an open-ended project or a task. Okay, so this is a theory which is Pygmalion effect, where they say that if you were to expect your students to do better. So I think I shared this before, that if you expect better, it's a good thing. And if people take it negatively, that's not your problem, that's not your fault, that's not something you should change in yourself. Because if you expect better and demand better, you get better. So let's say you're used to kind of going in a broken car, and you meet somebody and they say, what sort of a car do you have? So till a point somebody will empathize and say, okay, you got a car at least. But the point is this, if somebody said, I think you got a decent car, but if you had this car, that car, a bigger car, better car, you would be better off. So if you're in your comfort zone, you'll be like very logical, and you'll say, but the purpose of the car is blah 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 bb whatever, and the car takes me from here to there, and I don't need an expensive car. It's difficult to maintain in a city. It's not that easy to kind of find parking and stuff like that. But the point is, if you set a benchmark, and if you've been in better stuff and you've made observations about it, not at the expense of putting a dent in your pocket and stuff, but if you expect better, you aim for better, your aspirational values are better, you will also have a better lifestyle. And after a certain point of time, it's always a good idea. So if I were to ask you, do you like a Merc, or do you like a SUV, or do you like a regular Maruti car, do you like a regular Nano, there are going to be different answers and stuff like that. And if you were to say, hey, I got to drive in the city and I think I'm going to be having too much of hill travel and the weather is really bad and the traffic is kind of bad. I have children, I have dogs, and I want ample space for, taking my stuff and all that. You're not going to go for a small car. You want to choose a SUV. If you're an executive position, or if you're well-to-do and stuff, you're a business tycoon or whatever, you would certainly from the choices go for a Mercedes. So the point is, it's a good idea to have aspirational values. So similarly, as clean an SUV view would be, as great as the experience would be, as great as a Merc would be. Similarly, if you want to have a benchmark on cleanliness, which you expect also from your students in terms of education and ideation and work and everything, because you're molding their personalities. The same logic in your house works very well, because once you have a benchmark and you say, my work has to finish off at this time, you're going to make a choice of those kind of people and stuff, and people who cannot live up to that or cannot fit into that will actually leave, and that's not a bad thing. So somebody will make a comment at you, yeah, your servants are leaving all the time, they don't stick on and everything and all that. Well, it happens in most households. It's the same as offices as well. But the point is, you do not need to bring your benchmark down, because the moment you are bringing the benchmark and relaxing it, the things are going to go haywire. And this thing about reaching office on time, about reaching places on time, or about doing 20 different things because you have ample time is not going to be in your life, because you relax everything and everything gets chaotic. It's confusing and stuff like that, okay? So that's why I say, make a schedule, write at what time is expected or what from who. And as you do that, you know that things are supposed to happen in a certain manner, and what's supposed to happen on a weekend, what's supposed to happen on daily basis. Life becomes a lot easier, and this is the same rule which you must carry from your office into your house. So tell me something, when you go into an office, you find that, the cleaner the office is, the more you want to hang around in that office. The better the coffee shop, you want to hang around there. The better the music, you want to be there. The better the air conditioner, you want to be there. So if you were to apply that logic into your personal space, do you not think it's going to be the same thing for you as well? So ponder on this, think about this, play some good music, get some greenery around you, enjoy some nice relaxing chai, be in the moment, and understand that everybody has deadlines, everybody has work to do and stuff. So if you do not kind of take care of the cleanliness space, the cleanliness angle of the space in your office or on your immediate desk where you work out of, it's not going to kind of keep you in a very nice spot of being efficient and stuff. And also, I had shared this, and I've been sharing this over a number of years and stuff. Clean your desk before you go. Maybe you can have probably a spray or something. I don't have it, but I have this one, which is some nice aroma oil. So I leave this and I refill this and stuff. So get some green plants, so nice plants and stuff. Okay. So this is something which is there on my table. I think I've shared this before. You don't have to go really pompous and stuff, but get some nice green plants, get some nice books, play some coasters, get some incense sticks, put some bookends, put some lamps, display your stuff nice. Avoid keeping a time clock on your table, because you're going to be focused too much on your time. You're not going to be able to do your work. And definitely play some good music and stuff. Let the sunshine in, okay? So this is all that is there for me to share. And the moment you are enhancing and improving the cleanliness of your desk and your office and stuff, the same logic also goes to the choices of restaurants and shopping places you go to. The same logic applies to the gym you choose. The same logic applies to your car. The same logic applies to your closet. The same logic applies to your to anything you do. Yes. So I'm on jkapani@gmail.com, justinkapani.im@gmail.com, and justinkapanioffice@gmail.com. Thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for sending me some compliments. And please do not bother to kind of write to me on spam. It will only save your time and energy, because I don't check my messages from unknown people and stuff. The best way to reach me is to send me an email, and that's the way the whole world works, okay? So it's a humble request. Why waste your energy and why waste anybody else's time, right? So love and luck and take and have a blast. Enjoy. And well, no, it's not a Kuna Matata. It's have fun. Keep rocking and keep enjoying. And remember to soak up some nice beverages. Slow down really helps you, you know. So bye bye and take care.